Everyone. I want to start this off by thanking you all for being here today to celebrate Nina's life. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Anaya Hall, and I have been friends with Nina since middle school. Honestly, it's hard for me to be standing here in front of you all, and I'm open enough to admit it's because after I finish this eulogy, then I'll have no choice but to accept that my best friend is gone. Nevertheless, I made a promise to do this and I plan to stick to my word. I do not think it's possible for me to find a proper adjective that could effectively describe the type of person Nina was to us all. So instead, I will use these 5 to 6 minutes in order to talk about just how much of an impact her friendship had on me as well as others. But first, let me give you all a little bit of background information some of you might not know about her. Nina was born on January 10th, 1999 in Washington, D.C. She grew up with her mother, grandmother, and 4 younger siblings. The living situation was not the greatest, and this forced Nina to grow up a little quicker compared to her fellow peers. However, she did not let her harsh living environment kill her compassion for others, and this was a trait I always admired about her. We met each other during a math class on the first day of middle school. I did not think much of her at first glance, and I did not know at the time she would end up becoming one of my best friends. She was less withdrawn compared to me and always managed to befriend people from all kinds of circles. I cannot pinpoint when exactly our paths intersected. It seemed as if I blinked and she was there. We found out we had a lot of things in common. We read the same books, we watched the same television shows, and both of us knew what it was like to be part of dysfunctional families. Yes, as cliche as it sounds, we bonded over not having functional families because it was relieving for both of us to talk to someone who understood you. Now I would be lying if I said we did not have our ups and downs. Sometimes she got on my nerves with her constant questions and meddling in my business, and I know I ticked her off with my mood swings and attitude, but at the end of the day, we always made up. Nina has been there for me throughout my life, but I want to share with you one of the many moments that really moved me. During my junior year of high school, I found myself spiraling into a depression, and I could not seem to pull myself out no matter what I tried. As my mental state gradually deteriorated, so did the urge for me to socialize. So I pushed away a lot of my friends and family, wanting to isolate myself from everything and everyone, or at least I tried to. Nina wouldn't let me do it. When she knows what was happening, she started blowing on my phone with text after text, asking me how I was feeling and if I wanted to go out and some of her friends for a bite to eat. I kept telling her I was fine and no, I wasn't up for any hangouts, but she kept pushing until eventually I gave in and told her I'd go out with them just to get her to stop blowing on my phone every week. I ended up enjoying myself a lot. It didn't magically cure my depression, but it made it easier to deal with. Even so, I'm not the only person who Nina had an impact on. She touched the lives of many others as well. While we were in college, she really got involved with the school community and took part in many activist clubs in order to advocate for what she believed in, which was for more representation and aid for minority students such as herself. In doing so, Nina landed a pretty big target on her back because there were many on campus who did not want to see this change she worked hard to manifest. But this did not cease any of her efforts. Even when there were days she felt discouraged, she persevered and continued her activist work. Although there were people who disliked her for what she stood for and worked for, there were others who appreciated her for speaking out against discrimination against minority students in predominantly white institutions. I actually remember a few people walking up to her and thanking her because she gave them the courage to stand up for the police as well. So thank you, Nina, for being my best friend and someone I could always depend on, especially when I needed it most. Thank you for choosing to show me and many others compassion when you could have elected not to. Thank you for trying to make the world a better place to live in. We will never forget you.